So we'll continue our program from this instruction scan 1. What we are doing, we have already assigned the counters or the nomenclatures to R1 to R7, wherein we have taken R1 for row counter, R7 for column counter and other registers, as I explained you in my last class. So out of which we are taking R2, we are moving 5. This is for debouncing. This we were taking for debouncing. So in R2 register, we have taken the count for debouncing because we have to wait for some debounce period if the key is found to be pressed. Then we are taking in R3. R3 is our final key code which is available in R3 register. So initially we are assigning it to 00. This is final key code where it is available in R3. Final key code is available in R3. Now we are taking this is for the column counter. So column counter is 8 because there are 8 columns. So we are assigning column counter as R7 as 8. Then we are moving the pattern. This is for the column pattern, activation pattern. Why we are taking 7F? In last class I have explained you that why 7F, because we are taking port 3.0 to port 3.7 for scanning lines which we are giving. So for scanning lines, the one line should be 0 at a time, rest all should be 1 1 1 1. So this stands for 7F. So initial pattern, initially we are making this column as 0. So we have to take the column activation pattern as 7F. Now what we are doing, because accumulator is the key code will come into accumulator, so initially we are clearing the accumulator to 0. So this is column pattern, initial column pattern, and accumulator we are clearing for our program for the next use. Then we are moving that to R5 register. R5 we have taken for key counter. So initially key counter is also assigned to be 0. Now again R4 is also made 0. So next instruction is what we are doing. We are taking this column activation pattern, that is 7F, into accumulator. Now where it has to go? It has to go to port 3. So from accumulator we are moving it to port 3. So now on port 3 the scan lines are given in this pattern. So only one column which is associated with P3.7 is 0. Rest all are 1. So whatever rows connected to this particular column, the key pressed on those rows with this particular column only will be detected. Rest all will not be detected because all the columns are 1. So whatever is the pattern we are taking into we are giving this to port 3. So port 3 is getting this. Now what we are doing? We are rotating accumulator right. So rotating accumulator right will give you this type of status. That means for next iteration we are making port 3.6, that is column 6, as 0. Here column 7 was 0, column 6 was 0, and then in next rotate it will be, this is for the first rotate, it will be 0, and for subsequently for all next rotate. So there are 8 columns, so 8 times we have to rotate it to right. So instead of giving again and again the different column activation numbers, we are giving only one activation number, that is 7F, and we are rotating that to right. Now where it is available? It is available in accumulator. So initially it was available in R6. Now from R6 we have taken into accumulator. From accumulator we have put it onto the port 3, and then afterwards we have rotated the accumulator right. Then we have again shifted that number, whatever has been this number, it is shifted to R6 register, which is column activation pattern. So for ready for the next column. Then we are calling the delay. This delay program you can write by yourself. You know how to write the delay. We have seen the delay. The delay is written for 1 milliseconds because we have to provide some debouncing period also. So we are providing some delay 1 milliseconds. Then after that what we are doing, because scan lines are the lines, it is given through output port, that is by us, by the programmer, and whichever key is pressed associated to that particular column, will be available on the row. So this row is connected to port P1. So port 3 is output port, so you will be putting onto the port. But port 1 is the input port where you are reading the status on the keys were placed on this column 7. So you will be reading these on these particular rows. So you are reading the port 1 status, and where you will get that status, you are reading it into the accumulator. So whichever is the key pressed will come, that word will come into, that byte will come into accumulator. Now after that, what you are doing, you are putting the counter for rows, because now you are first row you will be reading, then next row you will be reading, then next row you will be reading. So similarly there are 8 columns, similarly there are 8 rows. So you are assigning the row counter. This is the row counter. Row counter is assigned to 8 because there are 8 rows. Then what you are doing? You are incrementing R5 by 1. What is R5 by 1? R5 is the key counter. So initially it was 0. Now you are incrementing that by 1. That means the key counter is incremented by 1. That is for the next row. So RRC, why we have taken RRC? What is the meaning of RRC? RRC stands for rotate right accumulator through carry. So why we here are making the efficient use of carry bit? This is most important. What it is doing? When you do rotate right with carry, what happens? Suppose if your status is like this, let's say this is your status, initial status. We are just taking example. This is not the code which we have got. But suppose if your status is this, and let's say this is carry. So when we do RRC, what happens in RRC? RRC means rotate right. So this will be rotated right, but where this will go? This will go into carry. This bit will go into carry. And why we have taken this particular carry as a status for checking? Because we will check one by one row. We will move it to the carry bit and we will find out. So because we have taken that when the key is pressed, we should get 0, and when the key is not pressed, we should get 1. So if we check for carry, if carry is 1, then that means the key is not pressed. If carry is 0, then that means the key is pressed. So because this is just one key we have to check. So instead of checking the whole register as accumulator or the whole register, any other register, we are moving that status one by one, rotating one by one to carry, and we are checking the status of carry. If carry is 0, then the key is pressed. If carry is not 0, then the key is not pressed. So here we are making efficient use of carry. This is for detecting which key is pressed. So suppose if there is carry, that means the key is not pressed. If there is carry, the key is not pressed. So where it will go? It will go to the routine ROW1, row 1. Now where row 1 is written? Row 1 is written over, let's say ROW1. Row 1 should have been written over here. So when you find out that carry is set, that means no key is pressed on this particular row. So you are moving to the row counter for decrementing. So why? Because there are 8 rows. So simultaneously we have to check all, because on one column there are 8 rows connected. So when I checked row 1, first row carry, there was a. So when carry is not there, we have to move for the next row checking. So where we are moving to the instruction row 1. The row 1 is decrementing the counter for row, that is R1 by 1, and if it is not 0, then where it is moving to next row instruction. So again you are incrementing the key counter by 1, because one row is detected, another row is detected, so your counter is incremented because you have to make check of that whether all rows are checked or not. So when it is not 0, that means all rows have not been finished for checking. So again you will go over here, again you will make rotate right. So now rotate right means this will be moved over here, and the status will go from here to carry. Again you will check if it is 1. If carry is 1, that means no key is pressed, because we have arranged the hardware such that if the key is pressed it should be 0, if the key is not pressed then it should be 1. So this is finished. Now how many times we have to do this? We have to do this for 8 times. But what if carry is not set? Carry is not set, that means some key is pressed. Because carry is not pressed, that means 0 has been moved to carry. So when 0 will move, only 0 will move when the key is pressed on that particular row. So if we find that there is no carry, what we are doing? Move R4, 05. What is 05? Here 05 is not data. 05, it is not hash. There is no hash sign. So it is not a data. 05 immediate data. It is not a immediate data. But rather it is R5 register, because it is the address of register is given 05. No hash sign, that means it is register. And register R5, because we are using, I told you that we are using bank 0 of the register. We are using bank 0. So bank 005 address corresponds to R5 register. So whatever is in R5, because we have detected that at this particular row the carry was not there, that means on that particular row the key was pressed. So that status, that initial status of key press is moved to R4 register, because we have assigned R4 register for key code for one single for that particular scan. So for this particular scan, the data from R5 register is moved to R4, because we found that key is pressed. So but we will not stop checking the rows, checking all the rows. Even if I find that second row, the key on second row is pressed, for one scan I have to check all the 8 rows. So this process of checking all the 8 rows will continue even if you find that there is a key press in between one of the rows. Then when all rows are scanned or checked, not scanned, when these are written lines, so you are checking, when all rows are checked, then at once you are decrementing R7 register. R7 register was assigned for column. So when this process was done for one column, now next we are decrementing the counter for next column. So R7 is decremented by 1 and checked whether it is 0 or not, and if it is not 0, then we are moving to the next column routine. Where is the next column routine? I suppose next column routine is written over here. So what is this doing? This is again checking the status of R6 into A. Now what was the status of R6? Initially it was 7F. Then after rotating it has become some number, and that some number was there in R6 register. So it will come into the accumulator, and that you will put it onto the port 3. Then again you will move it to the right, so that it will be ready for the next column. The pattern will be ready for the next column, and the process will repeat. The same process will repeat over here. So again this is done for 8 rows. Again R7 is decremented by 1, that is for the next column. So 7th column, 6th column, 5th column, 4th column. Likewise all the columns we will check. And whenever we take the count, whenever we find any of the row, the status of the row is 0, we take that count into R4. So now initially my count is whichever row the key is pressed, that count is available in R4 register. So from R4 register, where I am taking when all the columns are also detected, then where I am taking the status of R4 register, I am taking it into accumulator. Now here also we are making best use of ORing instruction. What ORing is done? ORing of 2 bits, that means if both are 0 0, then only ORing is 0. Any of the bit is 1, ORing will be 1. So if I am doing ORing, my purpose is to check whether both the bits are 0 or not. So when ORing result will be 0, when both the inputs are 0. So R4 status I am taking into accumulator. R3 status, initially R3 status, now for the first time we are assigning it to 0. So this result will be 0 when only R4 is having 0. If R4 is not having 0, or if R3 is not having 0, then the ORing result will not be 0. So when R4 is 0, R3 is 0, then only the ORing will be 0. And if it is not 0, then where we are going? We are going to D bit. D bit means debounce the bit. D bit. So where we have written D bit, after this the program is available over here. But if it is 0, that means R4 is also 0 and R3 is also 0. We are returning from the routine. But if it is not 0, that means there is some key code available in R4 and some key code is available in R3. So if it is not 0, we are moving to this particular routine. So what this tells, we are taking again the status of R4 into accumulator. We are comparing the contents of accumulator, because what accumulator contains, whatever R4 contains, the same accumulator will contain, and it is not a comparison with 03 immediate data. It is comparison with the address 03. So address 03 means it is R3 register. Why? Because we are checking R register bank 0. So 03 address stands for R3 register. So compare and jump if not equal. What is compared? The status of R4 and the status of R3. And if both are not equal, that means some different key is pressed. R4 is having the current key status and R3 is having the final key status. But if both are same, that means this is the final status of the key press. But if both are not equal, then we have to go for the new check. And what is this new check? The new check is, again you are moving accumulator contents to R3, that means whatever is in R4, the same key scan you are moving into R3, that will become your final status now. And you are again, because you have to debounce, you are again taking file counter for debouncing and then jumping to the scan routine. Again you will follow the same procedure for next scan. So all 64 keys you will scan with this particular program, and the final code is available into R3 register. So I think this is clear to you. If you have any doubt with this, you may ask me in Zoom class, and where you may ask me through WhatsApp, through phone calls. Be at home, stay safe, be connected to my YouTube sessions, get relaxed, be mentally free, don't take tensions of your examinations, do your assignments properly, and we'll meet in next class. Next time we'll see interfacing of displays, and then afterwards we'll see together we'll see the interfacing of keyboards and displays with 8051 microcontroller. So goodbye then.